Ha! In this video, I am going to show you the PTK and the PTK exercise in real detail. At this exercise, what we're doing is the PTK, we are going to strengthen our diaphragm. When you think of the diaphragm, you must know that it's like a big muscular layer running on your rib cage, on the bottom of it, closing off the lung from the lower part of the body. This is also the muscle that lets you breathe. So what happens when we breathe in? The diaphragm is like small when we breathe out and like bally-like, and then when we breathe in, it stretches out, pushes out the rib cage, open up the lung so air can get into your lung. When we breathe out, this is like going from this tension back to release, getting like small, pulling the rib cage together, breathing out. You can try that yourself. You can breathe in, breathe out, and check out what is gonna cost you more energy. Let's do it together. Once more, maybe. Maybe you notice now that the effort of breathing in is much higher than the effort of breathing out, which is because for breathing out, we simply have to relax. And that's amazing. What we're now gonna do, we're gonna use this going small for creating a pressure of air that we wanna use to get the air out like a little arrow. You can imagine having an arrow on your lips and you wanna shoot it straight into the bullseye. I'm gonna show you once. So, except to the relaxed breathing out before, we're now making an effort for breathing out, pulling this area really fast together so this pressure of air is created and we can toss it out. If you have a problem with this arrow and bullseye way of thinking of it, there's also other ways to approach it. For example, we do use this also naturally if we sneeze. Achoo! Achoo! So you can see this is the same movement, it also feels the same. Please do me a favor, if it's Corona or not, I don't really care. We have a lot of jams that's gonna be hard for others to take. Always do it a little bit protected. Never ever do anything of that into the face of others. That's also for the PTK exercise itself. If you do it together with someone, just turn in one direction, not looking at each other, and do it just to reduce the stress for your body. Okay, so sneezing, also nice to do to feel this muscle movement would be coughing. If we do, you can also feel it. What you can do, by the way, you can put your hand on the lowest part of your rib cage. This is where you can feel the diaphragm. So if you go too low, you're just in the belly. If you go too high, you're on the chest. Like, we really have to have the hand here to feel it. For the girls, this would be where your bra starts. For the guys, that's where your rib cage starts. For everyone in between, I guess you're all gonna find the lower part of your rib cage, hopefully. So put your hand here, try it, coughing. Also a nice way is when we laugh, though we have to do that in a little bit unfriendly way. Think of laughing at someone. So we're doing it really nasty, like ha 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 ha. There you can also feel this muscle movement. And my most favorite of all, because we're later also going to need it for belting, is imagine someone dropped something in front of you and it's like pacing off really quickly, and you want to give like a person, whatever he, she, they dropped, you want to give it back. So you try to call back the person, and this goes like, hey, hey! So it's a really loud outward way of calling him back, but you also have the attack here. Now, please really think about going a distance with the sound. Yeah, there's like, if you go too much from the throat, which would be like the football equivalent, I would say, it sounds like this, hey, hey! And this is going to like really hurt here. This was already nasty for me right now. I just did it so you can see it. So try to direct it right outward. Hey, hey! So, and if you have that feeling, that's how you move this muscle part here. Now let's go finally into the PTK exercise itself. This exercise has two parts with some variations. So we can do PTK once, like I already showed, twice and 3 times. And how we're gonna do it is 1, 2, 1, 3. I'm gonna show it in a moderate pace for you now. I'm gonna lift my shirt for this so you can see the movement also. What's very, very important here is not only to give the tension all the time, but also to release. Without the release, you're gonna like build up tension, and this is gonna get really nasty for you. This is also a thing that's very important for the singing itself, and so relaxation is something you will gonna hear more often. I'm gonna do the whole exercise now. So this is the first part of this exercise. With this, the good thing is like you have a lot of hold back. So like it's a very closed sound where you always can like manage the pressure to get it out like in a very ideal way. The second part of this exercise would be with a little bit more open sounds like f, s, n, sh. So what's the difference? Why do we do it in both different ways? As I just said, the one is more closed, you have more pressure control, the other is more flowy, you have to put more effort in it to control it and to do it well. And that's also what's going to happen during singing. We're gonna have to manage many different settings on how much power we have to give, etc. pp. And we are going to train that with it. I'm gonna show you now a full run through of F, S and SCH. And I, of course, going to show you again how the movement looks. Very well. So, since we always relax between the sounds, this also means we get air between the sounds. So what we don't want to do is like yeah, but what we actually want to do is usually you don't hear the breathing sounds. I'm doing them now for you. So every time you relax, you're gonna take in a little bit of air. Trust your body. Trust your body. It knows exactly what you need. And try to get through in a very nice pace. You don't have to do it fast, you can do it slower. Or if you're doing it already really well, you can also do it faster to train the flexibility. One whole run through, because this is just like 2 parts of one exercise. The end product should look and sound somewhere around this. That would be 1 round. We want to do 2 till 3 before we start singing, just to warm up. So this was PTK. Now we are going to PTK. The difference here is we're taking the hit from PTK, but we put on the E, A, and hold it and train the lower belly musculation. Our pelvis floor should be very active here now. This is going to sound like this. P T You might wonder why I'm now going into a German accent, saying PTK instead of keeping it English. Well, I am German, and with the E, E, and A, I am controlling how narrow or wide my mouth and my capacities are, and also how much airflow control I need. The smaller it is, it's a bit easier. The more open it is, the more effort we have to put in. With this exercise, you can train not only the pelvis floor, but also to control these 3 different modes on the airflow you need to do here. Maybe you saw already that I was working quite a lot with my lower belly here. What I'm doing is basically I give some pressure into the pelvis floor. You can feel it in the buttocks just as much as before here. You can see my diaphragm is getting a little bit inside, pushing downwards. My belly is coming out. When I release this, all of this is going back again. So when I do the hit, I want to give it down to my pelvis floor, keeping the sound steady till I'm done. And then I release and go back to relaxation. I show you once more. P T K. On this way, we're gonna train to not only use the diaphragm here to give us support, but to hand that over to the pelvis floor, who is going to be the root of our singing, right? So when we sing, we don't want to think into the throat, we want to think into the belly, which sounds weird right now, maybe, but you're gonna understand the further you go with the training. I hope you can follow on these exercises, do them regularly, build your muscles, because singing is like a sport. It's just like a sport, honestly. We have to build up muscle. This is an excellent way to do that while we're trying to learn the techniques behind it. I am very positive that you are going to do that and you're going to manage learning that. And I see you in the next session.